Aquarius, this is Char with Ariana Stark. This is your forecast for the month of April 2021. Like always, I will rely on tarot for your overall reading, and I'll also use some oracle decks that I have here. This is the love oracle deck that I'm going to dive into. Besides, I'm going to use the butterfly oracle deck to wrap up this reading. Aquarius, please keep in mind that these are all random messages and they may not be in any particular order. So please take whatever resonates with your story. Towards the final days of March, stepping into April, we have the Five of Cups. Possibly you may have been feeling a sense of loss in personal relationships. Perhaps you would have been better served if you had taken a back seat rather than involve yourself in other people's affairs. Aquarius, it would have been better to have clarified before jumping to conclusions. On the work front also, you may have been a bit distracted. Maybe there was a change in your schedule as well. There were interruptions that you were dealing with. Possibly you were also somebody who was reviewing the tasks at hand. Despite the interruptions, there was some work which you were able to get done. To overcome this month, we have the Five of Wands. These are the challenges that are in store for you. Basically, Aquarians, you're being called upon to have a very flexible mindset. You cannot be rigid or high-handed in your dealings. Ideally, I think you should collaborate with other people. Besides, you have to move with the changes. There could also be travel, or you may be commuting great distances. In personal relationships or within the family, you may find that your family elders may say that you procrastinate when it comes to obliging the family members. Incidentally, you will carry on with the task, but then you create a fuss, so that is why they could be a bit peeved with you. This month, you will also be decluttering your space, possibly could get rid of papers which you no longer require. Spiritual cleansing could also heal you this month. Oftentimes, you may feel as though you're sleep deprived. Maybe you're awake at night. Influences for the month, we have the Seven of Swords. In all likelihood, you're dealing with somebody who's not being upfront. Ideally, I think Aquarians, you're being called upon to be more tactful and polite to ensure harmony in your relationships. Oftentimes, you may find yourself losing your cool. There's also the feeling that your good intentions are never acknowledged. Nonetheless, I think you're going to be somebody who is going to use your intelligence to tackle problems that arise. Maybe your senior is somebody who is going to saddle you with more work. I got a cough just now, so maybe communication is a problem here. Malfunctioning gadgets could also affect you. I think there'll also be reunions this month, but then you may not be too pleased about it, or they could take an ugly tone. Aquarians, you should also be careful because someone around you could be unwell, so maybe you're being called upon to be the caregiver. Days of the month, we have the Four of Swords energy. Certainly, you're being called upon to take a back seat. Perhaps you should withdraw from certain circumstances or situations and rethink your moves. Maybe you need to introspect. Like I said, meditation could help you. So spiritual cleansing is something which you should consider this month. Maybe there'll also be calls for an interview, but then you may be undecided. In this period, it's going to be very hectic. Even you will be overworked. Ideally, I think you should buy your time and attend to clients. Nevertheless, you will be able to complete a lot of work. What is most satisfying is that you do not have to take the help of a rival. Incidentally, in this period, knives are going to be sharpened behind your back. As you see in this card, this person has lots of knives behind him. So certainly, behind your back, something is brewing. There could also be somebody threatening to sabotage your work. Maybe it's an idle threat, but then ideally you should have a backup of your plan. All in all, the best way to combat envy is to keep your mouth shut. Perhaps you should seal your lips and keep your cards close to your chest. Those of you who are in the hot seat, I think you lash out at inefficient staff. Maybe you're also somebody who's going to sensationalize the issue in case you become aware of the wrongdoings of a junior, as this is your way of putting him in his place. The next 10 days, that is towards 11th to 20th April, we have the Six of Wands energy. Surely a claim is quite likely. Recognition of some sort is possible for you. Paperwork is also going to increase in this period. Maybe you are going to be working to and fro. You could also be commuting a great deal more in this period. Incidentally, you may think that even though you have made gains, you do not have much left in your pockets. This could worry you a bit. Maybe you think that a junior has not been honest in his dealings, or you think that somebody has made off with your money. I think you should get to the bottom of things. The last 10 days of the month, we have the Two of Wands. Another card which flipped out was the Two of Pentacles. If you want harmony in your relationships, Aquarius, this month, then you should be more polite and tactful. In the last 10 days, discussions could be about what you should do in life. Perhaps you have a career plan or you have new ideas in your head. Also in this time, you should work on your relationship with your mom. Maybe you have said something unkind. Whatever it may be, I think you will find solutions to the problems that arise. It would be prudent to listen to your own instinct. Maybe you should also not be too rash when it comes to decisions with respect to career matters. Perhaps you feel that you can make more by taking those risks, but then in the end you may end up feeling crestfallen because you could lose it all, or you could squander whatever you have earned. Money is something which motivates you, so in case your employer doesn't want to give you enough, then you may be thinking about leaving the workplace. I think you should stay put because remuneration is quite likely. There will be surprises in this period. You could go for shopping as well. Maybe you could add to your wardrobe. Ideally, I think Aquarians in this period, you should negotiate and have your way. Maybe if there's a dilemma, then you should also discuss the issue with a senior person, maybe a male figure or a father figure. He could come up with solutions. Oftentimes in this period, you could also be playing the mediatory role. In this period, you may also find that your colleagues take credit for your ideas, so you should set the record straight. With respect to your love life, I have the card cycles. You may feel as though everything is cyclic in your love life. Maybe you think that it's going round in circles, but there's no end in sight. Maybe you desire commitment from this person whom you're dealing with. Romancing Aquarians, I think you should not snub your person. Maybe you could say something unkind which could make him recoil. If you want those free-flowing conversations, then you should be more romantic. Sometimes the physical distance in the relationship could also affect you. Maybe your person is away on account of work, that is why there's this distance. Nonetheless, Aquarians, you'll be much sought after by the opposite sex. They will certainly try to woo you because they're impressed on account of your looks or the way you carry yourself at work. Romancing Aquarians will also want your love life to be under wraps. Maybe there could be some tense moments or somebody could want to talk about your secret relationship. I think the issue of commitment could also be something which could come up in conversation with your person. Maybe you think that he or even you could find the idea of settling down quite scary. That is why this card cycles. But then certainly there will be those days when you want to settle down. In case you're crushing on someone, I think you'll continue to cyberstalk the person. Maybe you think that the two of you are telepathically connected to each other, even if there's no communication. Basically, you're somebody who wants to understand his thoughts. Sometimes you feel that this person is more inclined towards spiritual matters and he doesn't want to settle down to holy matrimony. On the other hand, those of you who are married, you'll be pleased because your spouse is going to make financial gains this month. Sometimes you'll also be gripped by nostalgia. Ideally, I think Aquarians, you and your person should watch romantic movies, or maybe you should sing romantic numbers. He will definitely make allowances for you when he's in a good mood. In case you're in an unhappy relationship, I think you shouldn't put up with spousal abuse because it will lead to low self-esteem. Sometimes there could also be issues with your in-laws. Maybe they find you very domineering as a person. Your partner could also be somebody who is quite suspicious. The last card in this reading is motivation. Like I said, money motivates you. I think you desire motivation. Sometimes both Sometimes boredom can set in a relationship or even in your professional life. So that is why you need something new, or you desire newness in your work environment. Perhaps you are being called upon to increase your energy levels. You should enroll for an exercise program. Maybe you need mental stimulation also, or you need to change your routine, because this will benefit you enormously this month. I hope, Aquarius, you liked your reading. This is Star with Ariana Stark. Please give us your feedback in the comment section. We also have the weekly love reading, which is published every week. Have a look at that as well to get greater insight into your love life. This is Ariana Stark signing off. Take care. Bye. Till the next time.